Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumin and today we're jumping into Gloria Victis. This is an MMORPG with an emphasis on realism that's set in a low fantasy medieval open world. It has skill-based non-target combat, open world PvP with territory control, a deep and involved crafting system, and a player-driven economy. Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty exciting, and it looks pretty good from the gameplay I've seen. In this game, you get to create a character, pick a nation, an origin, you actually get to pick your starting class archetype, and a whole lot more. So we're going to jump in here to the character creation system, and we're going to have a look at all of that. I'm going to say that you can use the timestamps to jump between the different parts of this video so that you can leave satisfied, and you can also do a deep dive and discover more about the game by using the links in the description of the video. With all that out of the way, I'm going to say that we're going to start by customizing the female, then we're going to customize the male character, then we will have a look at the nations and origins available, the way they look, the way they're presented, and after that we will also just have a quick peek at the starting class archetypes, and then just sort of the choices that you get along with that. So, let's do it. Let's get started. First up, female customization. There's actually quite a lot here. I was sort of impressed by the amount that they had. I'm always happy when they have a randomize button right at the start, because that's always a fantastic way to approach it. I think that before you even look at any of the other options, you can generally just click randomize a few times and get a good idea of what the system is capable of. But that said, we'll save the randomizing for the end. So, body size is the first thing you can do. Not a massive difference between the sizes, but it does give you at least another way to distinguish yourself from the masses. Another way to set yourself apart, you know? It's alright. It's alright. The slider, it does good work. Skin tones. We're going to zoom in a little bit for this. We're going to zoom in a little bit for this. No, they zoom, they zoom us out. Right, so it can go pretty dark, which is nice. And then there are actually some like extra pale options down at the bottom here. Yeah, they all look good. Once again, this is a MMO that's very much based in realism. They say it on the website, an emphasis on realism, and they mean that in all senses, including character creation. So, faces. There are 3 different face choices here. You do actually get some customization. You'll see there are some sliders down below, but this is just the frame that you start in with, basically, the template that you start in with. Let's go for the basic one. Eye color. It's alright. The eye color, you know, they give you sort of eye colors that you'd expect to find on regular human beings, but they are not quite as bright or impactful, you know, as you'd maybe see in other games, which is not a bad thing per se. I usually like it when the eyes are sort of, you know, bright and visible, but I'm sensing from the way things look here that we are sort of jumping into a slightly more gritty world where things are darker, and you're not going to see that little shimmer in people's eyes, you know. That's long gone. so with that said, let's just take the lighter color here. Let's look at the hair. You can take no hair. It's a shaved head. It's a short style with a braid around. Slightly longer style with some braids on top. Sort of a long ponytail with a braid down the back. Or a plait, or whatever you want to call it. Here's just a plain short style. And then there's a loose long style. I want to sort of say they've covered all the basic types of hair, but they could have thrown a couple extra in here, especially for the females. Like if males only had this many, I'd be like, yeah man, okay, fine. Give us some beard options and we're happy. That's cool. But for the females, I think you could have added at least 3-4 more maybe. There are some basic styles that could have sort of come from these. That would have filled this out quite nicely, but yeah, it's alright. We're going to take the short style, or let's take one of these like up styles, there we go, just so that we can see the face and surrounding, so we can modify it nicely. Hair colors, they are nice and bright. No crazy full RGB colors here. Not going to be running around with blue hair, pink hair, green hair. Which is once again not a bad thing. That's fine. There are nice colors here. They have the nice reds. Honestly, the reds and the oranges here are beautiful. And yeah, the black is kind of nice. I mean, all the colors are good. It depends on what you want to do with it, I suppose. Additional hair color. This is your highlight. This allows you to just spice things up a little bit. You will notice that it's all the same colors. They've just got them all twice. And yeah, you can make yourself unique with this. I chose black just so you can have the contrasty sort of look at how it would be. But I think that just based on how this system works, there's a good chance you'll have better results if you take two similar colors. So if you take like a red and a lighter orange or whatever, or you know, you just take some like sort of similar-ish colors, and then you throw the highlights in there to sort of spice it up a little bit, or something like this, you know, like a gray-in style or whatever. Or you take it the other way around, where you take this here and that there. It's kind of nice, you know? It's sort of a difficult system to make something look fantastic. It takes a little bit more effort, but I think with a little thought, you could probably come up with something decent. Yeah. Body details. These are tattoos. Two different sleeves. Over the chest, legs. Oh, actually, that's just over the whole body. I was it's like, it's literally everywhere. Down the calves as well. And then this one is sort of more focused on the chest. Oh, these are actually wounds. Oh, right. Okay. I thought when I zoomed out and looked at the picture, it looked like it was some sort of spider or something. But no, that's actually blood. Huh. All right. Yeah, let's take this. Go for that grittier look. Then you can change the color. It's just of those. You know, they're different for each of them. So, like, for this one, you got, like, the dark red. You can have it really bloody looking. For the tattoos, you have a lot more options. And, honestly, I actually like the way these tattoos look. I've seen a lot of tattoos in video game character creation, and I gotta say that very often they sort of fall flat on their faces with the tattoos. These ones look nice, and I think because they offered less, it's probably just, like, better quality on them. I don't like it when people add tattoos as an afterthought, because it ends up just looking tacky. You know? These are pretty detailed. They look okay. You know, because they've added this sort of wound or like bashed up character here. They could as well have added some scars and stuff like that, I suppose, on the face and on the body. It's just something that people like. They might be over here. We're going to get to it now, but like on the body as well. Could have been cool. As for the colors on these, you'll notice that this one has far more colors. These two have far less. The reasoning, I think, is just that because there isn't so much real estate here, it's not quite as easy throwing color on them. Not sure. But this one, again, it looks kind of cool. Let's just take that. No, actually, let's take the wounded look, make it dark. Then let's look at the face stuff. Once again, there are colors over here. I'll show you the colors before we jump in. I think these are sort of standard face painty colors. I would have liked to have seen a white here, but maybe these ones don't make sense white. Like this one should be white. Let's see if my prediction is correct. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Okay, so they've sort of curated the tattoos in a way that makes sense, I'm supposing lore-wise. Because, like, you know, you don't usually see tattoos like this with that light or white color. But these ones, yeah, they make sense white. They just look good white. And they have a little bit more in terms of the options. Keep in mind that these are also the same on all the different races and origins and stuff that you pick. So if you are picking, you know, one of these tattoos, you could maybe line it up with something that works for the faction that you pick. It's quite possible. Let's look at this one. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly. Wow. Lots of colors on this, but like, what the heck? I look like a reptile. Scaly skin. Actually, it looks like more of like a mud tattoo. You know? And you got the other side here. It's the same, just on the other side. It's kind of cool. Here we have makeup? Is it makeup? I can't tell. Or is it like bruising? Or is it blush on the cheeks? I don't know. This is like a standard. It's like every game has to have this in. I don't know, man. And then here we have the wounded face to match the wounded body. Yeah, that looks alright. That looks alright. Now, let's have a peek. We approach the sliders. Horizontal spacing on the eyes. It's nice. Vertical spacing. I say nice because there's some decent movement. You can probably make some, you know, sort of funny looking characters with this. This really sets the mood of the character up, right? My god. She can just instantly be unimpressed. The thickness on the nose. Ooh, nice, dude. Nice. Get that potato nose in there. Okay, okay. Ears. Yeah, yeah. Height. This is like just making them sort of, you know, longer. Position. Slide, slide. Then lips. It's the top lip. You can't zoom in any further, unfortunately. Let's make it nice and big. Bottom lip. Make it nice and big. This is the eyebrow and forehead. Oh, okay. Make her angry. And then the mood. Speaking of angry, this is basically smiling or unhappy. Yeah, why not? She's not happy with the appearance that I've given her. God, I don't blame her. Not even a little bit. I kind of... Yeah. I mean, you can sort of go all out on all of them. And you know, make something kind of crazy looking. But it's not all that crazy. I think they don't want characters looking like absolute... I'm not going to say freaks in the game, but like absolute monstrosities, you know? That'll detract from the hardcore PvP. Anyway, let's click the random button. We're going to randomize on female a little bit. Wow. Yeah, I mean, okay. Jeez, that's fantastic already. Like, instantly it's jumping to different characters that look nothing like the one I just had. That's kind of cool. Yeah, okay. Alright. Indeed. I'll take this. Any day. The tattoos being used to good effect by the randomization system. They seem to also be randomizing everything. You can see the face is changing quite a bit every time I click random. Yeah, this is not bad. Alright. Alright, okay. With that out of the way, we're going to jump into the male customization. Let's do it. Again, I'm going to mention that the customization is the same on all the different nations and origins. Doesn't really matter too much. You can sort of do what you want there. Okay, let's begin. Body size, the type. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Even less than the female, I think. Or is it about the same as the female? You're getting like... What are you getting? Like, let's see. You're getting like half a head taller. Not even a full head taller. It's fine. It's a decent amount, I suppose. I think for the like sake of hitboxes and stuff like that, you probably want it to be just a bit. You know? You don't want it to change too much. Because otherwise you have to give people with the smaller body types an advantage. Because you are. Unless you're giving them more strength for having the larger body type, there's really no reason to have a bigger body. You're just easier to hit. Skin tones, they're fine. They're fine. Let's go with the slightly darker one. Let's go with this guy. Faces. Sort of more stern looking face with some visible lines. Slightly younger looking face. Untouched by the ravages of war. And this guy's just done with all of it. Yeah. Okay. Let's take the first guy. Eye color. Mentioned on the female side that they're okay. You know, this is fine. You can sort of see the eye changing just barely, but it's not the most impactful thing ever. If you maybe put like some reshade preset on you, or you push the hue and saturation up a whole bunch, then you'll see the eyes pop a little bit, but right now not so much. Here. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, okay. Is that like a modular thing? It is! Okay. I think, like, when people do this kind of thing with their character creation systems, I always think to myself, like, why not just go the whole hog and make it modular? Now this guy's starting to look a little like Mr. Beckham. I get it. Okay, okay. See, I think that the male styles are covering more than the female ones. Absolutely. Here you go. Here you go. That's good. That's good. Okay. So, I feel like the males got a much better selection. Funny, they don't actually have any, like, proper... Yeah, there's no, like, real military buzz cut or anything like that, but there's a good amount of styles here, and I think if you combine them with what we're going to look at next, which is the beards... Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, okay. You're going to be able to make something pretty cool. Dude, the beards have nice textures. I didn't say much about the hair. I didn't say, you know, much, all that flattering about the hair, because, I mean, it's just not that special. But the beards actually look, yeah, they look relatively, oh my god, yeah. Jesus. It's really well sculpted as well. It's like, it's not just the way the textures and stuff look. This is just a well-kept beard. Dude, oh, I'm jealous. Yeah, okay, so this one looks a little less impressive in my opinion. Again, it is just my opinion, but I feel like when they have the strands longer, you can sort of see through the seams a little bit and it doesn't look quite as good. But these ones look amazing. This is really great, yeah. I mean, I think that even the stubble with the mustache looks really good. Yeah, alright. Okay. Let's do the beard on and then let's look at the hair color. Oh, fantastic, dude. The beard changes color quite well too. I like it. Huh. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting the feeling that the hair colors, they just work so much better on the males. Like, this looks nicer, man. Okay. So you get to set the hair highlights. I'm going to put this on white, and then we're going to look at the highlights quickly. So you get the idea how this works, basically, is that you pick in a highlight. It might work better if I do it the other way around. Make it black and I do the other highlights. It's a little randomly positioned on the males, I feel. On the female, it was sort of random all around. On the males, it's not really random all around. It's like you'd expect there to be like a peppering of the color, but instead there's like blotches of the color. If you look at, as an example, the beard. The hair, it's sort of more peppered and more evenly spread, but specifically the beard looks kind of, you know. But there's a highlight option and you can do whatever you like with it. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay, let's leave the black hair on. Let's move. I need to take the beard off quickly. There we go. Let's move on to the body details. That's the tattoos. These are the same tattoos that the females had, in case anyone's wondering. Same ones. And they all have, and this is a sort of a wound that you can put on. It's just like some cuts and scrapes and blood splats and stuff. And on the tattoos, you can change the color. These ones, not so impactful on both of these, same colors. This one, however, kind of nice. There's a reason to pick this and choose the color here. I like it. I do like this. And again, it can be combined with the facial tattoos to make something pretty cool, I'd say. Then, speaking of the face tattoos, here we go. These can also change color. I'll show you the colors here quickly before I move on. Not much, but they're there. This is just on the other side. These ones have more colors. I kind of like them. Yeah. And then these guys. Same colors. I'll put it on dark blue so we can see. I don't know. I like to call this the reptile or reptilian look, because it seems like it has that weird texture. The scaly texture. This I'm trying to still figure out a little bit. I feel like it's blush or something on the cheeks and on the nose. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever. And then here's the eyes. The ones that are always present. And then a messed up or splotched, blood splattered face. That's cool. I kind of like that one. With that out of the way, however, let's put some blood on this guy. That's cool. Let's have a look at the sliders. Eye spacing. I expected these to be a little bit more interesting than the female ones, but not by much. Yeah, eye spacing. Let's do it up. Nose height. Keep in mind, obviously, that you will be able to customize these. This is the nose thickness. A little differently based on the face that you pick in, but you'll see basically in the... this is the ears. You'll see in the randomized section that there's quite a lot that can be done, and you'll see sort of some examples of what it could look like. Let's make the lips big. You can set the bottom lip and top lip sizes. It's the mouth width. And then the mood. There you go. And that is that. It's not too extreme in terms of what you can fiddle with, but there is enough to make a interesting looking character, and you'll see that when I start clicking randomize right now. Yeah, yeah. Man, look at that. It's like a couple of steps away from Trevor from GTA. Oh my god! Fantastic! Look, it actually links up here. Okay. Yeah. And the face looking a bit longer as well because of the beard and hair. See, that's like a pretty unique look. If you look at that compared to all these other ones, that's well put together. There's the same one. Well, not the same, but like similar. Why the heck not, man? This is kind of cool. See, while I'm not a fan of the long beard just on its own, it can bring a look together quite nicely. Yeah. Yeah. Looks kind of cool. Kinda cool. And that brings us to the end of the male customization. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump back over here, and we are going to have a quick look at the nations along with the origins. Now, this needs to be explained very briefly. The nation actually locks you onto that faction as a player. So if you make a Midland character, as far as I understand, you are a Midland character and you are on that. It's got its own population, you'll see, and it's sort of like picking Alliance or Horde in World of Warcraft. So if you pick Midland, all your future characters on this server will be Midlanders, and that's what you're going to be playing, right? It puts you on the faction that you're fighting for, in other words. And you'll see, you know, if you just sort of jump between them here, if you look what Midland looks like, they've got a certain style. You know, they are the knights in shining armor. Then you jump onto Izmir, and you can see that they are the more brutish warriors wearing the pelts and the scales and stuff like that, you know. And then you have the Sangmar Empire, and these guys are dressed what seems to be like the Romans, I suppose, but it's a bit of a mix because they also have what I guess could be considered sort of like the desert people. So it's like a little, it's weird. I don't know, but we're going to read about it right now, and that's just the visual explanation, and we're going to have a quick look at what they're all about. So first things first, Midland. They have two origins, the Logris and the Wenedia. You'll see if I jump between them, the description down here doesn't really change. So it's basically, well, it'll be further down as far as I know. Let's see. No. Okay. It's basically the same all around. Midlanders, pride, order, and dedication. These are the values praised by most Midlanders. Their pride often has become their curse, for it's led these proud people to many Pyrrhic victories and unnecessary last stands when retreat would have been the wisest option. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to read, like, the whole thing, but I'll read the rest of this. On the other hand, their reckless bravery and skill at arms has also allowed them to achieve nearly impossible deeds that bards chant songs about to this very day. Midlanders' deeds are remembered by the pagan cults who curse them and nurse old grudges while waiting patiently for their chance at revenge. Then in terms of the origins, we have Logris, as I said, covered by primeval forest. Logris is the proudest of the Midland kingdoms. It's a land of noble lords living in stone fortresses and knights standing to uphold the traditions of the ancestors who protected their motherland from attacks of wild tribes. Makes sense, right? Just based on the look here. Then we have these guys, Wenedia, also part of the Midlanders, by the way. Wenedia is the younger of the kingdoms of Midland. It's a semi-wild land covered with steppes in the south and ancient forests in the north. It's the homeland of the relentless warriors who stand strong after centuries of fighting the pagan tribes from Estovia. Kind of sick, right? It's nice how different they look. That's it for the Midlanders. Let's jump on to Izmir. Fury, ferocity, and freedom. These values are worth more than life for Izmirs. Among them there are great sailors, excellent smiths, and brave sellswords, fearless of death by combat or at sea. Warriors of Nordheim bring terror to lands they invade. Folk songs and bards' tales about their bloody conquests make one's blood run cold. There you go. Then we have Nordheim and Styrborg. According to the eldest tales, frosty Nordheim is where the first man walked after leaving the forefathers' chambers. It's the homeland of valiant warriors, strong as the northern winds and stubborn as the icebound fjords. That sounds amazing. Then we have these guys, which looks like a hardier, sort of more dressed up version of that. Styrborg is a land of eventful history, plagued with both wars and volcano eruptions. It's the homeland of the world-known clan Nightroar, warriors who know no fear. That sounds amazing. Yeah, sounds like you're heading into Skyrim territory here. Then we have, next up, the nation of Sangmar, the Sangmar Empire. patriotism, ambition, and wisdom. As the sun sets, a city of countless lights and sky-reaching towers rises. Balhamon, the center of pride and wisdom, an oasis of art, the city of knowledge and dreams, home of the greatest among philosophers, inventors, and artists. The pearl in the crown of the Sangmar Empire, the city... Yeah, that's what it said. Of rising power, army of Praetorians, the city of science and miracles, the city as rich, as beautiful as the Sangmarians' values. That's kind of crazy. Okay, then you have Sangmar and Azeb. They say that the sun never goes down on the Sangmar Empire, land of wonders, wealth, and exotic flora and fauna. These guys like to talk themselves up. It's home to fearless legionnaires and Praetorians who are ready to sacrifice their lives for the Emperor ruling his dominion. Okay. Azebs are people known for their strength and determination. They grew up in hot southern lands. Yes, desert people, I thought so. And are one of the largest groups living in the Empire. Azebia is the homeland of incredibly dexterous scouts, hunters, and archers who rule over the steppes. Fantastic. I also love how the flags change at the back there, as you can see when you switch between these ones. But that's basically the rundown of how you can start. Once again, I'm going to mention that if you do pick one of these, you get locked to it. You can obviously come out and delete the character, but that's the faction that you're going to be fighting for. That's the nation that you're going to be fighting for, one of these three. I think they did a reasonably good job to not make one like just blatantly straight up cooler than the others. But yeah, I guess time will tell if one of them becomes unbalanced or not. There you go. Now, next up, we are actually going to jump very briefly into look at the class selection. You don't actually pick a class in this game. The way it works is you can either answer a series of questions, and you can do this if you'd like, and then also still customize at the end. What this does is it essentially lets you pick the way you want to play by answering questions. So a successful journey means expanding my knowledge and skills, earning money and loot, discovering new places. You answer this and you keep answering until the end, then they give you a starting archetype that suits the way you play. But I'm going to mention that it is just a starting archetype, and the game has a very interesting sort of classless system where you can become what you want. You can do what you want. You don't lock yourself into anything. So in that way, this here doesn't matter all that much. It more so just chooses how you start. But let's go through the questions quickly and see. A successful journey means, yeah, let's say discovering new places. The most efficient way to defeat an enemy is to evade, balance, offense and defense, endure. Let's take evade. I'm sort of going in a certain direction. You'll see immediately what I'm doing. What would you like to show your grandchildren? The fruits of my land, collection of rare minerals, hunting trophies. You can see where I'm going with this. Where will you be in a battle? Shooting the enemy at a range. I'll flank them to help hold the line. I'll be holding the front. I'll shoot them at a range. You are going to pick a weapon from the arsenal before battle, but your choice is limited. Which will you take? I'd take a sword. I keep parrying. Oh, wait. When fighting an enemy, I keep parrying attacks, looking for an opportunity to counter. I attack with full power, no stepping back. I want to see him tired before finishing him. Let's see where it takes me if I go no stepping back, full power. Best strategy when charging an enemy position is to eliminate soldiers one by one, strike with the entire army, or attack in smaller units. Let's go for picking them off. You've lost your knife while crossing a river. You feel that you'll definitely need this tool for further adventure. Take a knife from a dead enemy, earn a new knife, craft a new knife. Okay, from a dead enemy. And I'm a scout. I saw that coming. I definitely saw that coming. So this is how it tells you then basically what you got through the questions. But the whole system here is very fluid in that you can basically change your archetype and you can pick whatever you want. Now, I'm going to quickly give you a rundown of how this works. You have these, right? You have Scout, Weaponsmith, Armorsmith, Tailor, Guardsman, Soldier, and I'm going to mention here that it's different for some of them. Each of these has one unique one on them, but keep in mind that it doesn't really do much different. It's the same stuff here. It's all the same. It's just a different name. This one has Huskarl instead of the, what was it, Soldier or something like that. And then if you go over here, they will have Guardsman, Mercenary, Armorsmith. Is this all the same? And Nomad instead of Scout. You see? So each of them has basically one unique one, and it changes like that. These guys have the Scout again, Guardsman, and Soldier. You know, so it changes a little bit, basically. And you must just know that your choice here does affect it in a small way. But not that much. Here we have Raider instead, and so on and so forth. You will notice once again that this stuff does not really change. You know, so if I keep just going back here, switching around to random ones, it's all gonna stay the same, right? So these things, they're the exact same choices. You're not gonna miss out on something based on the nation you pick or based on the sub-nation you pick. So your origin, not gonna change this. So the way you can set this up once again is you get some attributes to spend. I think it's like 40. Yeah, you can put in strength, that increases stamina. And stamina regeneration, increases base damage, increases slashing damage reduction. Or constitution, that increases health and health regeneration, stamina and stamina regeneration, and bludgeoning damage reduction. And then finally dexterity, increases damage dealt with bows, knives, and swords, headshot and backstab damage, piercing damage reduction, increases stamina regeneration. Kind of cool. There you go. If I want to go all dexterity, I can do that. And then I get, I think it is 14 points to put in here. It's a weird number, but 14 points that you can put into cooking and herbalism, tailoring, leatherworking, engineering, armor smithing, weapon forging, or forestry and farming. And that's basically it. You can put them in here as much as you want in whichever ones you want. It's 14 because I suppose if you put them in one of them, then it'll end up being 15 on the max. I suppose that doesn't really explain it. But again, the way this works is you are just picking the way you start. You'll immediately realize that your character doesn't look quite as cool anymore. You don't have that fantastic armor that you had on here at the start. This was just to show you basically how you're going to look eventually, to tease you a little bit. But there you go. That's how you pick your starting archetype. That's how you customize it. These ones just put the different options in different places, and they set you up in a way that you feel comfortable. You can take one of these, or you can do it yourself and just sort of mix it up. It will obviously select the starting weapon for you and the armor that you're wearing, but that will change pretty quickly, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Then finally, your name is an interesting thing. They do allow double barrel names, but they seem to encourage, as you can see here, an underscore in your name, which is really weird. So yeah, and I'm not sure if they actually like actively enforce this, but they do tell you that you should try and go for one that's sort of law friendly. But that's it. That is basically all there is in Gloria Victis' character creation. Hope you guys had fun with this video. Hope you enjoyed seeing the options available. And if you are playing the game, I'd love to hear from you. If you are a regular in this game, I'd love to hear what you think about it. If it is, in fact, a whole lot of fun, jumping in for the PvP, the realistic feeling combat, the low fantasy setting, it seems kind of cool. So I'd love to hear from you guys if you're playing. Do you think that the character customization options here are enough? Do you think there's enough here to keep people happy? I think it's fine. I think it's all right. There could still quite easily be more stuff coming in the future. Not sure about that, but it's a decent selection, and I think that you could easily jump in and make something that'll make you happy. So that's probably the most important thing, I would say. Yeah. With all of that done, I'm going to ask you guys to give this video a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. Check back here soon for more, because there will be more. And enjoy if you are jumping into Gloria Victis. Happy that.